A warm welcome to the PlayPan Podcast. Podcast for good, fostering a culture of giving, one story at a time. I'm Kenneth Chu, your host for this journey. We'll be diving into the heartening stories that underscore how PlayPan cultivates a culture of giving. Together, we are redefining how we give back to society, making a difference through the power of play. Hello everyone, welcome back. And this is the final episode of PlayPan Podcast. And today we have back again our co-founder of PlayPan, Gary and Yvonne Siow. Welcome back, Gary and Yvonne.
Thanks, Kenneth. Hello, everyone.
Hi, thanks, Kenneth. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so we know that this is the final episode and soon P Center will be demolished. And we know that PlayPan, we have already built a community, right? So let's do a flashback. What are the things that you guys have experienced in PlayPan that you felt that you want to share the story with people that they may not have heard of or they may not have experienced? And maybe start off with Yvonne first.
I think what I can do is share the lowest point as well as the highest point. Then, in between, there's just so many amazing stories. I think one day, maybe when I'm old enough, I'll sit down, write a book, and then, document all this. So I think with all these, community activities, the space is very pretty as everybody can see, and everybody comes forward and contribute. So there was this particular one, which is the very first piece of artwork. It's by this artist called Amanda Ong, right? Because when we first took over the place, we were so excited, we just took this whole bunch of keys and we went and found one room. It has a very, very huge wall, maybe double the size of this. So, and these two ladies, Fanny as well as Amanda, they came and at that time, the mall was really run down, nothing like this, not even pretty. And it was really quite scary because you can imagine 50 years old, nobody, has been spending much time on it and literally has been going down. So they look at this room and they said, okay, they want to make this a very beautiful place. So Amanda drew a very, very big, very surreal looking mermaid. And she took so much pain, to draw every single scale of the mermaid. And I remember that was our very first picture, Then we told you, we said, hey, this one will go down in history. Yeah. And somehow it was vandalized, right? Somebody went to deface it. And it was really beyond repair because, the restoration of this would take up really too much time. So I think that was, to me, like, I can't understand why anybody would do this, right? So much effort has been put in by Amanda, Fanny, so many collective. We have some 50, 60 artists around working on different spaces. And it is open to the public to come and look at the different genres of art. So, and why would people want to destroy something like that and be mischievous? Yeah. So that was really the lowest point to me. The highest point?
I think people just don't appreciate the effort that people put in. It takes people so long to get some nice passion work done on the wall. And basically these are just ground up, they are not like, say, you pay me to do something. They just want to do something passionate and they use the heart and soul and do it. Just need one person, a 5-minute job, and then it just spoil the whole thing. So why do we have this type of people? I mean, what is the reason behind this? Why? They are jealous over the thing, or they are just want to seek attention, or they think that by destroying somebody's things, make them happier. This is something that really surprised me, and this is something that really is one of our lowest point, that seems like people are not appreciating. There are people that are not appreciating for nice work that is done. So yeah, this is something that I share the equal the feeling, and I feel so bad.
Heartbreak, right? Because it's all hard work. But I think it's also important because of this incident, right? The more we should do good, the more we should even advocate this, educate people about it.
And in fact, one other incident that is my low point, we share about low point first, is it was the first few days of us inviting the muralists to come and do all the different graffitis around the third floor. Because we chose third floor because we want it to be away from the public, because if there's some 10, 20 different muralists doing all the spraying job, the fumes will be quite strong. So we do that. And guess what? The very next day, we received a call from a security that one of your artists went up to the hallway and start vandalize and start painting obscene thing, you know. So for me, I don't think artists are done that way, you know. So they went up investigating CC cameras and all this. They found that it's a few young youth. And as a security, they said, I have to report to police because this is vandalism, you know. And they want to arrest a few young people. So police came. So for us, we just want to take over the mall, promote doing good. The next moment, it's like, I'm already in the criminal scene, you know. So the IO came over. I feel a bit tense also. It's like, wow, now what have I gone into? You know, now I got to be involved in the one police case. And this is a community ground up movement. It's so decentralized. How many police cases I got to go through, you know? So I went through with the police and I actually told him, I say, I also don't understand why these people heard about this and just come and vandalize. But they are young youth, we know. So for me, because I dealt with a few social enterprise and all this and NPOs, they are youth at risk. Basically, they are good people. But just that maybe they just want to prove each others or their peers that, hey, you see,
I can do it.
I dare, I cool and all this. So turn around, I actually shared this with some of the muralists. I said, hey, these few people, they are not bad people. If we can show them the beauty of graffiti that is in the art, that people will appreciate what you're doing instead of doing all this obscene thing, then it might solve the problem. And I actually asked the police officer, I said, hey, can you maybe once you caught them, don't put them in jurisdiction, let them have a counseling opportunity with the muralists
to educate,
to share with them the beauty about graffiti and not vandalizing, you know. So
the difference,
just pivot it. And the police officer is like, wow, that's a great approach and let's do it. So I think PlayPan is really want to promote the spirit of doing good, and I think we want to set a good benchmark for the youth at risk to have a turning point, because this might turn them into a great artist. Because some of these youth at risk might be a greatest artist in the next 5, 10 years or 20 years. You know, so why don't we empower it? So I think this was one of the things that I think we have turned the low or the lowest point to the winning point or to the positive point. So this is something that I thought we are doing the right thing.
And thanks for sharing the lowest part. I think this is something, because out of all the goodness, right, definitely there will be something that is not very pleasant, and that's something that really heartbreaking. And you guys with PlayPan, the spirit is to really give them another chance to really educate and then to convert it into something good again. Right, rather than penalizing them. I think we have to be the role model, because if, let's say in the law and orderly Singapore, as we know, right, definitely the penalization will be there.
Correct.
So I think that is something that I think we should.
This is something that we also think that it's a good social experiment. You know, we all got children. Our children also make mistakes. Do we just penalize them, or do we actually try to pivot them in many ways, and from there see the better of it and push for the better of it? So, in fact, in our first world challenges now, we penalize, then we sympathy, and end up sometimes once you penalize, you actually put a mark in them that even you give the sympathy,
it cannot.
They don't want already, because they are like, oh, I got a scar, and they actually use that scar to fear themselves all the time. They become defensive over people coming to help them. You know, so turn around, we might have to start to think about how we pivot these solutions and make it become a new norms. You know, that we give chance, we help, we change before we.
I think this part is also to really stop judging people, right? Because a lot of times they may not come with bad intention.
Exactly.
They are good people.
Yes.
Just that they may not have that knowledge or someone to really guide them.
Or they don't have a proper environment.
Yep.
So their environment is like, you do it wrong, you get the scoring, So this is something that, we really think that we want to be part of it, to slowly pivot this experiment to see whether is there a better way to solve it.
Yeah.
Because part of what we, envision for this social movement is also to reimagine the culture of giving, right? I mean, giving is not always, based on, I donate money or I donate volunteers, right? It's always also about giving your time, right? Giving your time to mentor, somebody who has gone off the track and giving them an alternative. So that's why we believe that if you use play as an alternative, the barrier is so low, right? Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to have fun. And in the process, it unearths and rediscover your own creativity, your own, inspiration, or your own maybe some childhood fantasy that you want. So, I think this conversion through play allows a lot of all these negative things to not happen. So I think, in this whole social process, we have also seen that the empowerment, the theme of empowerment is so strong here, simply because we don't judge ourselves. When we don't judge ourselves, we also don't mind people judging us because we are being childlike. We're putting in a costume. We want to be an artist because, I've always wanted to draw, right? So
talk about this, I mean, I'm so amazed that a corporate lady like her, suddenly I saw her vandalizing one canvas, I like, what are you doing? She said, oh no, I just like to play. She took a few,
That's why
she took a few remaining cans of paint that their organizations did the installation of the experiential center for vision. She just started doing the creative. I said, wow, that became an art, So she said, yeah, you see, I have talent, So actually, these are things that
Covered talent, right?
these are things that if we don't play, we don't try. We have seen like very serious young couple walking around, and then suddenly see a piano open up, and then I think the guy is trying to impress the girlfriend or something. So just go there and start playing notes, and I was like, he's trying, But turn around, he's actually a very good pianist. He play well, and I think the girlfriend also opened up the eyes. Wow, this one got more credit points, So things like this, I think, are the great moments of things that can happen. But if we put it in a serious mode, once you play unwell, people are like, call out the security or the management, hey, you got to stop, you got to this, you got to that, and then again, he don't get his brownie points from the girlfriend, So things like this, again, is a new social experiment. We want to open up more potential people, like my son, our social media guy, his passion is in BMX. He just loves to share his knowledge, his skill to people, from 8 years old to 80 years old.
Right.
In fact, we saw one that almost like 70 years old man, like, okay, I can do this. He tried, and then I was like, wow. And my son cannot cycle well, and I saw him doing the BMX, turning the thing and tricks. I like, wow, this is a chance that I never give him, because for me, I was like, oh, no, he do this, he will fall down and all this, and I don't have the time to accompany him. But since he's playing, he learned it, and because of this, I know that he can handle things, and these are all the magic moments.
And I think the good thing is that, something serious did come out with, which is the economy of good itself. I mean, everywhere we're struggling with very high inflation rates, everywhere people are losing jobs, right? And, finding livelihood creation is so difficult. But as you can see around, the whole entire PlayPan, right? Because of the element of play, right? It unlocks a very new way of doing it. I mean, prior to this, even our producers never thought that they will come in and do like a video podcast. But after they do that, then they realize, there are a lot of people who are interested to do this, correct? So it unlocks this innovation and this collaboration that in turn spurs on a new kind of economy. So it's not that there's no money to be made. It's not that there's no economy. It's just that we need to discover it.
Yeah, we need to outreach it.
And we need to disrupt the current way that we are doing things, because we all have been very stylo in the way we do it, right? Solo, right? It is like that. And we frame it differently because all along, that's what our school has taught us. That's what our society has taught us. But because of the power of play, it unleashes all this. It becomes a salad bowl. And of course, help with the kampong spirit. Everybody encourage you, try lah, it's okay what do you have to lose? 4 months only what, right? So because of this, as you can see now, we have a thriving, escape room, right, that has glow-in-the-dark graffiti. And we have gig economy. We have people who never thought that they could cook, but suddenly decide that, hey, you know what? I can run like a social enterprise. I can be a very famous podcaster, for example. So there's a lot of things that's being enabled. And this platform also means that all of us come together and shine light on each other, right? We support you as much as you support us. And we are all contributors of making this economy work. So in fact, I think, if you want to talk about, refreshing, economy, the best way is really to inject this and make it into a very big scale national level, right? That's the only way that we can position ourselves very differently and come up with our own personality. And yet, the planet will thank us for it. I mean, look at all the donated goods. This whole mall is filled up of things that's repurposed, recycled, pre-loved, right? No money and expenses goes into buying new things. But look at all the beauty that has come out of this. All you need to do is to be a little creative.
And you mentioned like how all these things comes about. Even this podcast, it just happened like last week, and we talk about it, and then everything just happened within less than a week. Even my producers, my team from Air Frank, they were like, we have never had done anything like that before. Like everything was very proper, very structured. They were planned first before they do.
Exactly.
Over here, if you do, then you figure out how to make it better. So this is a very reverse kind of mindset.
And this is entrepreneurship, right? We need this kind of spirit. If we want to be a vibrant hub, if Singapore wants to move forward, talk about entrepreneurship, this is the way to do it. Because if you don't have play, we don't have courage. When we don't have courage, right?
We end up sitting in our
Cubicle
or our own living room, watching Netflix and feel the nice aircon and relax. And maybe 30 years later, it's like,
I should have.
This.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this. Actually, I'm capable of doing that. But
regrets, right? These are regrets.
So I think the element of play is really, really very important, and play really can bring people together. This is a classic example of play, We never plan things, So many times, when of course we deal with a lot of professionals, a lot of, like people that are structured. They come over, they say, okay, of course, when they talk to Yvonne's still very professional, she's still got structure. When they talk to Gary, it's unstructured. And at the same time, no plans. They say, what's your plan? I say, my plan is no plan. And because for me, I'm an entrepreneur and I have risk appetite. And I love to do things that people think it cannot work. I try. But frankly speaking, if I plan, I end up give up because it's like, this cannot, that cannot. Think too much and end up my wire gets short, But if I don't plan and I just do it, and then the new passenger come in, the new people come in, and then the train just continue to go on, and end up, even when people ask me, Gary, do you have a destination on what you're doing? I say, actually, I don't have the destination. I enjoy the journey more than the destination because only during this journey, I met the best graffitis of Singapore. Now I'm very resourceful. I met event organizer. I met doing good community. I met educators that are very, they are leaders of all these educational institute that from Harvard, from London, Goldsmith and all this, and they come in with a very terminology. I
Very
don't
deep,
understand.
right? Very deep.
But when they see that you are doing, they say, Gary, you need help. I can bring in these resources, this network, these ideas, this creativity that they experience it in overseas. I say, you're welcome. For me, the turf is here. You want, you place, you grow whatever fruit you want. Let's showcase the beauty of this garden. So this is something that I thought is again, our highlight. I mean, now we got network, we got friends. I'm sure that if the intention is right, we can really grow.
Yeah. Since you talk about that, right? So what do you foresee, right, PlayPan moving forward? Because PlayPan has already had this all community, all these resources, all this network. What do you see if, let's say, eventually Peace Center will be demolished? And then what is the next plan? Maybe will there be a venue? Or without venue, the whole kampong spirit will still continue? What is the take from both of you? Maybe starting from Yvonne?
I think one thing for sure is nobody wants this to end, right? Because, a lot of them had so much fun. It unleashes so much potential that, they are coming forward with a lot of ideas on how to make it happen.
Yeah.
And from day one, we know that it's impossible to get, such a huge mall in central Singapore, right? So we've always think of this as a social movement, all right, that is very fluid. So once things are very fluid, it doesn't matter whether we are here, we are in Bangalore, or, we house ourselves, or in metaverse, and in digital. I think it doesn't matter. But what we have embodied is that this spirit of giving and this spirit of using your imagination to give back, right? I think these kind of core values will always stay with us. And thankfully, we have, all the very famous institutions now working with us to immortalize this piece in digital form. Wow. All right. And then, of course, all the schools coming to us, institutions wanting to document a case study about what we have done and make it into a framework so that, we can
continue to research, continue
Duplicate, right?
Yep.
duplicate, continue to influence. One thing I think for sure is that we are already PlayPan 2.0.
Wow.
We already somehow know there's some gist to make things right. Because one thing that I think not only we feel it, but the whole society feel it is that with the Web3 that is coming up very fast, all our younger generation that's super talented, super
Moving
creative,
forward to that.
they already
Somewhere there.
talking too fast and moving too fast until the real masses, they are the web tools, they are the more 2.0 people, they are the society 2.0 people, they are still lagging behind the 3.0. And it will continue to lag because it will go this way because even our own families, our kids, they play so many games that for us, during our Web 2 or our Web 1 time, we only can play one game
At a time.
in the 3 years.
Correct.
For them, they play a game, 3 games in one day. So it's moving too fast. Now, we really have to design things, and PlayPan wants to do this and want to play this role very actively, is to hold the hands of the Web 2 and the Web 3. The Web 2s are the society, the community, the corporates, the organizations that are still in the Web 2. They are moving slow together with the schools, the tech people, the innovative people, the creative, the artist people in the Web 3. We are pulling them closely and placing this opportunity. Hopefully, we have a 2.5 because for the 3.0 to jump back to 2.0, it's impossible. For the 2.0 to jump to the 3.0,
Far.
it's rocket science. So now we really have to play this role well. And one of the pivoting reasons, the more decided the developers decided to say, okay, they also want to support this community movement. On the same time, they also think that this social experiment of bringing the Web2 and Web3 together is important.
Because he will be looking forward to that.
Because in Singapore, we are not lagging of more 2.0.
Correct.
We got, in fact, too many of 2.0, and they are doing so well. But when we go to every places, it's like the hardware and the software are all well established. But the problem is that we don't feel that we belong to it. And the kids will not come anymore.
Correct.
Because in their Web3 world, they get
more
exciting. Online booking, online eating, online everything. They can do everything. So they will not go. So when we share that we are trying to bring in the 3.0 stakeholders and the 2.0 stakeholders, then we can come up with a more that people want to be belonging to here. And here, because of so many universities and schools, they are the Web3 people. And if they find that they want to be present in this mall, I think we got a very, very interesting 3.0 mall coming up. And this is something that PlayPan love to play the very involving role and championing this as a potential.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the last few months, when we had no pressure on each other, right? No expectations, but the technology guy knows that this is a special place, right? This is a melting pot of, all their ideations coming to life. So they have been testing all these ideas. And because we have a very embracing community that also embraces play, right? They don't think of it as, oh, I am using technology. They were like, okay, just show me any new things that excites me. So the last couple of months really have been a lot of hybrids, a lot of, ideation coming alive.
It's like a melting pot,
Yeah.
And with this, we can come up with very interesting ingredients that's why even PlayPan, our outreach is magical.
Yeah.
Because
Cannot imagine where it goes, right?
exactly. So this is something that our higher, I think.
Super high. High and higher.
Because you guys are very excited because where PlayPan will go. Because even without a place, right? This creativity can go online, go on virtual, even become like a bridge for Web 2 to Web 3, or the current, or even to be able to have mass adoption.
Correct. Yes. And people start to see that we are not talking nonsense.
Yeah.
We are not crazy bunch of people that coming out and talk nonsense. We are really proving it. We are really pulling it. Of course, it's not easy to pull the Web 3 and the Web 2. It's just like a very common narrative that the father talk to the son is like, hey,
Catch no ball.
generation gap, yours don't understand. It's tough. But somehow or rather, we are doing this. The Web 2 and Web 3, we are trying very hard. And one takeaway from here is that I felt that I'm now
Younger.
Yeah. By 10 years, because I know how to speak the Web 3 language.
Right.
And on the same time, I can behave and empathy like a Web 2, that how slow we are and how we catch up. We are already in this game. And I think this is a secret formula to make it right. And of course, if we sorbet the thing with a bit of doing good, I think we are creating an economy of good very fast. And it's happening.
Yeah, I think when you talk about this, right, because when I look at three of us are parents.
Yes.
Our kids are teenagers, already moving to the next generation. And like you mentioned, if not for this, right, you may not be able to move into the Web 3.0 and to really understand, because the community here is. And then from there, you understand why they are playing Minecraft, why they are playing Roblox, why they are playing all these metaverses, right? And why are these games getting their attention? And understand
why are big brands accommodating to that, and they are spending a lot of money just to learn.
Correct.
But hey, why don't you not just learn, but experiment? And this is a good opportunity to experiment it.
Yeah.
And
PlayPan is that place.
Now, I mean, I'm a victim of match. They play games so fast until initially I bought a Xbox for them to show that, wow, I know how to race. They don't even know how to race. Now they are racing with F1 driver digitally, and they like, well, I cannot make it this time, I make it again.
And by so
For me, I'm always on the last in the ranking because we are just slow, you know. But because of this PlayPan movement and all this, I start to speak their language. I start to
Because
understand
connect
them.
with them.
They start to think that, hey, our generation gap is getting closer because we understand.
Yeah.
You know, and
And they get to engage with us and talk to us even.
exactly. And we overcome all the mental wellness problem challenges because we are befriending with each other
The communication.
with a common ground, with a common topic, with a common subject. So yeah, play.
Yeah.
Just play.
I think even PlayPan convert a lot of people into what I call Web3 parents.
Yes.
Because a lot of parents are still Web1, right?
Exactly.
I still the old school, you should go to school, get good grades and all that. But with you, chill with Web 2.0 and now Web 3.0, the creator economy.
Yes.
And that's why in PlayPan, I see why is it so synced with Web 3?
Yeah.
It's because of the creator economy that we are creating. But not just creator, it's also creator doing good economy.
I think we have to build the social mindset of the youth. All human, or in fact, all animals are good. There's no bad thing. But because of competition, because of the fear, people start to build walls.
Yeah.
And when people build walls, people find socially awkward in blending with each other. But if we remove all this, hey, we are one big family, Like that time we organized, who say a mall cannot welcome animal as a statement. We say, hey, since we are ready to clear all the shit, why don't we bring in the dogs and the cats family and make it become a subject? And because of that, we got so many dogs and cats family, fan club or whatever come and gather, and they say, can they do more? So we're like, oh shit, man, that day the scene is already so much clear. And
Like more
welcoming more is more, so we are a bit mindful. But nevertheless, hey, this is a new norm. Turn around, if I really turn the whole mall into a pet and cat mall, I tell you, the business may be better than a lot of malls,
Correct.
So things like this, again, is a
possibility. Yeah. That's good. That's good to hear from both of you. And I can see the excitement, right, that PlayPan will still continue to exist. Although today is our final episode, but I think that this is something that we could take away. And what do you guys have any message for the audience that is tuning in? So maybe both of you can look at the center camera, the media camera. So both of you can share with the audience any message that you want to tell them.
I think regardless of where we end up, this PlayPan, definitely there's going to be PlayPan 2.0, PlayPan 2.5, or even more, right? Because starting from beginning, we keep outdoing ourselves. And now that's not only ourselves, but we have our extended PlayPan collective. And now, we have been taken, very seriously now by the media, the brands, the associations, right? All coming to document this space. So we know that, with all these help from, so many of you, definitely we need to keep on reimagining how we give back and reimagine how we go to play together. Because at the end of the day, once we allow ourselves to be playful, right, that's where a lot of magic happens.
Yeah, Kerry, what's your last message for them?
My last message is just play. Be it you're 80 years old, be it you're 8 years old, play. Because when you play, then you use your heart to go and feel things. And in Chinese, there's a saying, 用心做人, and I think when I was younger, I don't understand. I thought you must 用脑做人, then you can become smart. But why you 用心做人? Probably the age is catching up. I start to feel that, when we want to do our things, we use our heart to go and do the things. In fact, magical things will happen. So just play and just use your heart to feel the things, and magical moment will happen. So yeah, this is my takeaway.
Wow. Thank you, Yvonne and Gary, for the amazing message. And I believe for the audience, right, this is not farewell. This is just the beginning of another journey.
Many things. Yeah.
Many things that's coming forward. And I'm very, very happy, although I was telling the producers, our team, right, that I'm going to miss the place, but I'm very, very excited for what is upcoming for PlayPan 2.0, 2.5, 3, 4, and 5 moving forward. So this is not farewell. This is just a milestone that we're going to transform and move to the next level. And at the same time, don't forget to follow PlayPan socials to keep on getting all the updates from us where PlayPan is going forward. And if you have not come to PlayPan yet, do come down to PlayPan at B Center to check it out, and by the end of January. So at the same time, do leave those message that you want to leave it with us so that we can carry it forward to PlayPan 2.0.
Or even like resources, if you think that you have some good resources, good network, good support, just come by, and then let's play for good and let's
keep
make
this
a better
alive.
world,
Yeah.
Okay.
Once again, thanks, Gary
Thank you.
and Yvonne, and we will see you in the PlayPan 2.0. Thank you very much for tuning
Bye.
in to PlayPan Podcast. Podcast for good, one story at a time. See you guys.
Bye. Do join us on our social media. It's available in LinkedIn, IG, TikTok. Now, thanks to our team here, now we will even have our own YouTube and Spotify. So please do join us and help spread the word on how we can come together, play for good, and reimagine giving.